Welcome back, film fans. This is the usual skeptics. My name's Wes. This is Gabe. Here we talk about Hollywood news, reviews, anything going on in Hollywood, which we have a lot going on this week. So we are here today, though, to talk about our predictions for the Boys finale coming up this Friday. So maybe it'll drop early, which we hope it does. So, but we're super excited. We're gonna sit here. We're gonna predict where we think the characters are going to go, the main characters, and also we're going to do a little bit of death percentages in there too. So
Ooh.
it's going to be fun. Gabe, how you doing, man? I know we just did the video together, so I know that we're both doing great. But how you feeling, man? Are you ready for this?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm been so excited. Had a great time recording our spoiler discussion for episode 7. Had a great time with that. Not my favorite episode of the season, but still great nonetheless. Can't wait to go ahead and get started in this thing. Let's go ahead and get started. We don't have any particular order. We're kind of thinking of what's our lower. We're not ranking by our favorite characters. We're ranking by maybe least, not really importance based, but you'll get the idea.
Yeah.
Obviously the main hitters we're saving for last, Homelander, Butcher, Huey, Soldier Boy, things like that. And we're going to do some other characters first. So Wes, what's the first on the docket, man?
All right. The first ones I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna put these together. A Train
Sure.
and the Deep.
Okay.
They are main characters, but both of them they're not really spotlighted too much. So for A Train, his struggle this year with everything, and the whole his brother, all that happening to him, and then him getting Blue Hawk's
Dude.
heart. I think it's going to be too much for him. I think it's just going to be, way too much for him. And I think something's going to go wrong, to be honest with you, with A Train. So I don't know. I feel like in this next episode, could either go one of two ways. I feel like he's either going to um, switch and be on the side of like the Butchers and Starlight, or he is going to be with Homelander and he is going to die. To be honest with you, I think that could happen. I honestly, for his death percentage, I have 90%. I think that he's just going to do something. He's not. I think that his story is carried as much as it probably can, and I think that they could kill him off and be okay with it. Now, the Deep, um, his story's been up and down. I've really honestly not really enjoyed his story as much as everybody else's. I think that it's kind of
You don't like
out
watching
there.
him fucking octopus? What's the matter with
Yeah,
you?
no, no, no. But I have him as actually an 80%, because I think that
Really?
they'll keep. I think he's an 80% of death, just because
The
I
deep.
think that yeah,
Mm,
the deep. The deep is 80. A Train is 90%. I think A Train's more likely to die than the deep, just because the deep, uh, is too much of a suck up to Homelander. I think Homelander is going to need him,
right.
and I'll get into that prediction later. So, but I just think that going forward, I think the deep is going to do something um, to help Homelander, and I think he'll be hurt. I don't know if he'll die though. So, but that's my prediction on that. What do you have for the A Train and the deep?
So A Train, I'm pretty much in the same boat with you with A Train there. I have a few thoughts on the deep, but I'm pretty much spot on with you on A Train. I kind of feel like his again, going back like we just talked in our spoiler review of Herogasm last week. We said, look, we both went on record here saying he's gone, he's dead. Well, that's it of A Train, because they surely made it seem like that. And when he popped up in this most recent episode, and you're like, oh crap, so he's alive. But for what reason? The boys has yet to do anything, at least to my knowledge, have yet to do anything that doesn't play a role down the road. So they're obviously bringing him back for some reason. I'm kind of like you. I'm going to echo pretty much everything else you said. I think you're pretty spot on with A Train. I think the same thing. I am going 90, just to be different. I'm going to go 93% that A Train's gone in the finale, because his arc has it. He was kind of the forefront in season 1 because the story is being told through Huey's perspective. And it's evolved, we're now in season 3, so it's evolved how they tell the story, but at least that season alone, that was through Huey's perspective. Now we got more characters, we're following different things, so it's a little different, kind of Game of Thronesy. You're kind of watching different characters, different parts of Westeros and all that kind of stuff. But the same way here with the boys, you're kind of following different characters, and it is from their perspective, and I think works very, very well. But it started with A-Train. Season 2, his storyline kind of took a backseat for a bit. And we talked about this before. It's like A-Train and the Deep are kind of the same as far as their characters, but they've kind of went back and forth as far as them being in the forefront, right?
Yeah.
And I think that last season was more the Deep kind of had a bigger story than A-Train, at least from what I can remember. There was more that the Deep was kind of going with and dealing with, and the Train wasn't. And in this season, A-Train's obviously having a much one of the better subplots throughout this season is A-Train dealing with Blue Hawk and all that kind of stuff, and seeing that he's finally alive, or that he's alive, and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to go 93%. A-Train's going to bite it. I think he, like you said, I think he's going to have enough of Vought. I think he's going to have kind of like a Starlight move. I think he's going to help. I'll talk about this later. We'll talk about Homelander later. I think we're going to save him as one of the last ones here. But A-Train, I do think that I got to leave it a little vague because I don't want to spoil it yet. But I do think A-Train just has a little bit more to do for the finale, but I think he's gone. I think he's dead. Like you said, pretty much either he's going to side with Homelander and die, or he's going to go against Homelander and die.
I'm changing it. I'm changing it.
Really?
No, I'm changing it. I think that Huey kills him.
Oh, so you're going a step further. Huey kills him.
I'm going a step further.
That would be poetic. That would be very poetic. That would.
That's my prediction. I think that happens.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So that's interesting. I'm not going to go that far just because the boys they could pull anything out, and we could be dead wrong on everything here.
That's why we do this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. First time we're doing a prediction video like this, so this is going to be fun. The Deep. Okay, so the Deep. Yeah, I don't see him dying. I don't. I'm going to give like a 20% chance. I mean, likely a good solid maybe, but I don't see a reason. Like, what would be the reason for his death? I can see what you're saying because I hate him, because I'm tired of seeing him having sex with fish. I think it's hilarious. I think there's more for the Deep to do than A-Train, just in my personal opinion. So I'm gonna give about around 20% of death in the season 3 finale for the Deep, and 93% for A-Train. So Wes, what's next on the docket, man?
I'm writing down your prediction here.
Oh, we're gonna touch back on it at the end there.
Yeah.
Who's next on the list there?
I've got Camiko.
Oh, sure. Let's talk Camiko. Yeah.
We'll talk Camiko and then Frenchie after that.
Okay.
So Camiko, I think that Camiko is going to play a huge role in the very finale. I think that she's going to play a huge role. So I think that with her getting her powers back, all that good stuff, I'm going to try to speed through this. I think that she's going to have a huge role to play whenever it comes to either defeating Soldier Boy or Homelander, or both. We just don't know what's going to happen. So we're going to talk about that later. So, but I think she's going to have a huge role. I'm leaning more on the side of her dying. I think I give it a 75% chance that she's going to bite it. Just because, she's already said throughout, like, I'm the monster. I don't want her to. I love her character. I think this season has been amazing for her character. And I would love to see more, but we got to have a big death. And I think this will be a big death. in the series.
They've definitely
So,
set that up. Yeah.
but that's my prediction. So, what do you think about
75%.
Camiko?
Okay, so like you did with A Train, I'm going to take it a step further. I'm prepared to say, I've went on record saying this before, and just a quick recap. I think that Camiko, which we did end up seeing, she did get her powers back. We did see that, so that's confirmation there. I've went on to say way early on in this series or this season that Camiko would be the one to ultimately kill Homelander. We got one more episode. I don't see that happening. I just don't. Bless you. COVID, ladies and gentlemen. Um,
COVID cowboy, you know what I
COVID
mean?
cowboy. I do believe that, or did believe that Kamiko would take out Homelander, that Soldier Boy would be this ultimate weapon, which we'll talk Soldier Boy here in a bit. But Kamiko's arc certainly isn't finished. At any moment, any of these characters can pop smoke and die, and that's totally fine. I'm going to go a 45% chance that she dies in the finale. I think it's a pretty solid chance. So I'm going to give a 45%. I'm going to go jump straight into Frenchie. Because I'll touch on Camiko here and later when we talk Soldier Boy and Homelander, because there's some things I want to talk about there. Just real quick, jumping in with Frenchie, he's the one, just like with Mother's Milk, is one of those characters where they're the heart. I would say that Marvin is the heart of this show, which we'll talk about here soon. But I think Frenchie is similar in the sense of, he brings that gravitas to, humanize Camiko, and to be that kind of mouthpiece for her, because she can't speak. I'm not saying you have to be able to speak to communicate. She obviously does that very well, and she hasn't spoken as a bit of dialogue outside of her singing and all that kind of stuff. So with Frenchie, I don't know. I don't see him dying. I don't see him dying this finale. I'm gonna go a near goose egg. I'm gonna go 7% that Frenchie dies. I think there's more for him to do. I think that I don't personally feel like Frenchie's arc is, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't feel like his arc has even begun. I'm not going to say Frenchie hasn't had some great moments, but I think there's more for him to do in the future, well into season 4. But what do you think about Frenchie?
Okay, so I'm kind of going to echo everything that you said. Was
Oh, wow.
exactly what I was going to say.
I thought you would
I
disagree.
think
Wow.
no, I don't think that we've even hit the
Okay.
base of what his arc could be in the boys. They've touched on a little bit this year with the Russians and
Right.
all that good stuff, but I think that saving that for season 4, he could have a huge arc and kind
Very
of be a
well.
really good, you know what I mean? So I really gave him like a 15%, man.
15.
Like, so I was down there low.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
15%.
I'm a 6-7.
I don't think
comfortable.
that they can do it without like people being like, well, I wanted to know more. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
You get it?
Right.
So I agree. So moving on from that, let's go into Maeve.
Maeve,
Found
okay.
out that she's alive in this episode. But whenever it comes down to it, don't see her coming out of the season finale alive.
Okay.
She's at a 85% for me, bro. Like, I think that
85.
she's gone. Yeah, bro. I think
Okay.
she's gone.
How do you think her just to we'll try and plow through these. We're already 50
Yeah, I know.
about 50 minutes in.
I
We need to
know.
plow through these. Just real quick, what do you think? Just general idea, not exactly, but generally, how do you think that she'll go out?
I think Homelander's going to kill her. Plain and simple. I
He's
think
probably the only one that can kill her.
not like
Right.
what you think. I think that in battling and everything, she's going to save somebody. Don't know who it will be. She's going to save someone. Maybe a Starlight. Maybe a Mother's Milk. Maybe Black Noir. We don't know. Save her. Like, save them. Boom. He kills her instead, and then he gets injured somehow. I don't know. That's my prediction, but I think that Maeve is gone.
Okay. So, but you're going to give
So
it 85. So very likely,
85%.
but a good chance that she won't. At least,
Right.
yeah. Okay. So me, real quick, I might surprise you here. I'm just going to go ahead and spoil it. Maeve is 100%. I'm not gonna. I hardly ever want to ever give a goose egg or 100%, but I'm telling you, just based off, and we haven't seen much of Maeve this season, but the things we have seen her do and have seen her, what she's been saying has all been focused on Homelander, focused solely on what are you going to do about me? And I think that in this episode, I don't think there's going to be much room to breathe in this episode. I think they're going to really go bow, bow, bow. I mean, with the pace and the cadence, I think it's going to be a very fast cadence, throughout the episode. Who knows? I may be wrong. I'm just saying they have so much. I'm not saying that they have to kill Maeve. I'm just saying they set up the pieces at least for me to believe. Look, we heard A Train's heart stop last in the Herogasm. And then watching this newest episode last Friday, that was released on Friday, we see him alive. So but I'm going to go 100%. She is donezo in the finale, some way, shape, or
Okay.
form, either by the hands of, like you said, Homelander or something else. I think she'll go toe to toe with Homelander. I think that seeing his bruise, like where she told him, she's like, "Today's the day I seen you scared." It's the top 3 for me. She's like
Yeah.
all miserable, but she's like, you know what? Today's the day that I got to see you scared. And I think that's going to have her feed on that. And I think she's going to act on that. I think she's going to break out of whatever crap prison she's in. And I think that she's tricking everybody. I think, I'm going to take a step further. I think that she knows she can get out, but doesn't want to. She's trying to strategically think, okay, how can I get to Homelander? Because she's been training. She had all her furniture moved away. She's been training with her sword. I think she's going to go toe to toe with Homelander. And I think that he'll be the one to kill her. But no, 100%. And watch me be dead wrong tomorrow night. But anyway, I'm going to give the goose egg. I'm going to give the full 100%. She is dead and will stay dead in this show. So man, who's next?
All right, we got Black Noir next.
Okay.
We'll bust through this one. I think that, despite him being the cause of Homelander being caught by the Russians, I don't think he's going to die. I think that it's 35%. Like I said, I think Maeve maybe saves him, or somebody saves him, or maybe he just gets away somehow. But I think it's 35%. I don't think that he's going to die. I think that, they are setting that up too much. Like they're foreshadowing it too much. Oh, he set him up. He set Soldier Boy up, blah, blah, blah. If he does die, it will be at the hands of Soldier Boy. But I don't think
I
it's going
feel
to
that.
happen.
You don't think
I don't
so?
think it's going to happen.
You don't think
To
Noir's
be honest
gone?
with you, I think that he has a better chance of killing Soldier Boy over
Really?
over what happened, from the
Ooh.
past and everything. But anyway, it is what it is. What's
So
your
percentage on Noir?
35?
35%. Pretty solid choice. Okay, so I think that Black Noir, echoing everything you just said, but I'm also just to add on that, I think that Noir has had a lot to do this season. That if you asked us before the season, hey, Black Noir is going to have some great moments, I'd be like, okay. He was great. He's been great. And he doesn't talk. We don't even see his face, dude. Outside of those flashbacks, we haven't even seen his face. And
Yeah.
seeing what's going on, and we talked about in our spoiler video for the most recent episode and all that kind of stuff. So we do are a huge fan of maybe where things are going, maybe have a general idea. And just like with Maeve, just like with A Train and things like that, I think they've set up Noir to go out as a hero, quote unquote hero. I think that he has 95% chance Noir is going to bite it. I'm going to go
Okay.
high because look what his story's been this season. He's had more, I would argue, more screen time than Maeve. He's had more of an arc. We've learned more exposition through him, through his story thus far in this season. I think he's gone. Sorry. Who's next? These characters are great, by the way.
I know, that's why
They're
we
so
talked
I
about it for so
know,
long.
I know
We're
we
like, oh,
can.
this video is going to be 15 minutes. No, definitely
No,
not.
20
Okay.
minutes in.
So we're gonna rush through these so we can talk about the big ones the most. We probably should have went quicker on the other.
That's
Right
fine.
there.
That's fine.
So Mother's Milk is next. I'm just going to let you know, Mother's Milk is a big goose egg for me. I don't think that's going to happen. On to the next one, because I just think that
Really?
bro, come on. Goose egg. No, he's not dying.
Goose egg. Okay.
We need him in the next season.
Completely thought you would change your mind. Just real quickly. Yeah, I'm just like I said with Maeve. I hardly ever give goose eggs or 100% on anything. You know what? Just to be different, 1%. I'll give Marvin a 1% that he'll die.
I just think that he's too much. I think that next year he'll play a pivotal role, because I think they're going to put him against Butcher. That's how
You're
I
still
think
set on that. Okay. Yeah, I think 1% for Marvin.
Okay,
I don't see him dying.
Starlight is next. Starlight for me is at 65%. I think that I think that she could die. I think that just so that it would kind of push Huey's storyline a little bit further, to where he's heartbroken, and maybe he takes real Compound V to become a soup, to become a bad guy. I think that it might be Homelander that kills him, and then it's him versus Homelander. But there's so many different things that I think. So you go ahead. That's my prediction though, 65%. And I think that she might die.
Starlight, I'm gonna give, you know what? I'm gonna give a 50-50 on that. I'm gonna give 50% chance for Starlight, because same way like we've talked with several other characters already. Starlight has been one of the forefronts this season. She's done a lot to stand up to Homelander. She's got more balls than most people standing up to Homelander the way she's been doing. And to Vought, she quit Vought. How's that going to come back and bite her? Homelander's going to have enough. I think she's dead. I think she's gone. But I'm also, the other 50% of me is like, yeah, I could see her sticking around, and maybe to the point what you're saying. So, but no, I'm going to go 50%. So I wouldn't be surprised, but I can go either way.
Okay. Next one on there is obviously Huey. This is 0% on that one.
0, just because your theory that he's going to be. What's your theory that he's basically going to be the villain for season 4?
I think that he's going to be the villain next season. I think that they've set this up to where he's been the fiend of the V. You know what I mean? The temporary V.
Right.
But I just think that I think that they need him for the show. They still need him for the show. But it's still 0 for me. I'm going to keep it at 0.
You're going to go 0. I'm going to go 15% of Huey. I don't think he would die, but I think there is a real slight maybe for him. But I wouldn't go as far as to say that he's needed. But if he doesn't die, I will say this: if he doesn't die, they're obviously setting something up huge for season 4. But I'm also not going to fall out of my couch if Huey bites it. But I don't have any inclination at all, and you and me are pretty much in the same boat. I don't see any inclination at all that Huey's going to bite it in the finale. I just don't see it. They're going to toy with the powers that he's got. They're going to toy with that, because look what's been happening with his arm, right? The camera will focus on his arm glowing. They're going to kill him and not talk about that. So no, he's going to be alive. So anyway, who's next?
Next one is Butcher. So Butcher's on the list. And for me, Butcher is at 5%. It's another one that I'm like, there's like a hairline fracture where he could die, and it just and I'd be like, what is going on? I don't think that that's going to happen. I just don't think that's going to happen. It's 5% for me.
5%. I'm gonna go 25% that Butcher's going to die. 25, and here's why. Just real quick. I'm gonna go a little bit opposite what you're saying. I think Butcher, I feel like his story's coming to a close. I really do. If he doesn't die in the finale, he will die in season 4. Carl Urban is fantastic. I think he's great. but I also wouldn't. I mean, I think it's likely that he'll survive. Obviously, my 25% of his death, but I do think, we've had him go toe to toe with Homelander now. I think the next time they go toe to toe together, I think that there is a good chance, not a likely, but a good chance that Butcher will die in the finale, just because of everything that's been going on, what we've seen in this most recent episode with the flashback, or not really flashback, but the memory and all that kind of stuff. I think Butcher's story is coming to a close either in the finale, if not, definitely season 4. So, who's next?
All right. Next, we got the 2 heavy hitters right now.
Ooh.
First one's Soldier Boy. So we'll talk about Soldier Boy.
Okay.
So Soldier Boy, for me, is a 50% right now. I think that Jensen Ackles has came in. I think that Jensen Ackles has come in and done an amazing job as Soldier Boy. I was so scared that he would come in and be Dean Winchester again. Trying to, you know what I mean? Because that one person has played that role for 15 years, man.
15, yeah.
So him coming in and being somebody new, somebody fresh, and killing it, knocking it out of the park every time is fantastic. So 50-50, one reason I think that if he teams up with Homelander in the finale, it could be an epic duo of just villains for season 4. You know what I mean? And it could set that up. Or it could be him killing Homelander and him becoming the biggest villain that we've seen.
He could. He's got more than super strength, so
yeah,
maybe they can play
he's
on
got
that.
way more, and he takes away powers. So that being said, though, I just feel like it's a 50-50, man. I think that if they did kill him, it would be like, okay, like they did it. They killed him,
Right.
And one thing that I can see is Homelander actually killing him, because he's like, I'm the upgrade. Whenever he said I'm the upgrade, he's like, no, I'm gonna be the one.
Right.
Like I can't have somebody else that's just as good as me here. I can't do it.
And he can't stand that. Yeah. I
He
feel
can't
that.
stand it. So that's why I said it's a 50-50 for me. But what do you think about Soldier Boy?
This is the one that I struggled with. This is the one that I struggle with the most, because Soldier Boy is one of those characters, and a lot of people forget too, the same showrunner for The Boys, Eric Kripke, is the same guy behind Supernatural. So a lot of people forget. A lot of people aren't even thinking of that. Now, the average person doesn't give 2 shits who's the showrunner. I don't even know what a showrunner is. That's a whole video in and of itself. Basically, the creative person behind the show, the whole backbone of the show, the one calling all the shots. Anyhow, with Eric Kripke bringing in Jensen Ackles, I struggle with this one, man. I fluctuate a lot, but I'm finally going to settle on 50-50 as well. I'm going to agree with you, because I've been saying since episodes 1, 2, and 3, because they dropped at the same time, episodes 1, 2, and 3, I have believed that. Because on one hand, Soldier Boy, I think, them setting up to be this ultimate weapon, I think that's just a ploy to be like, no, Camiko is actually one to take out Homelander. So on one hand, I do believe that Soldier Boy, very good chance that he will die. But I'm also like, I don't know, Kripke brought Jensen Ackles in. They might hold on to him. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised either way, is all I'm saying by 50-50, because I'm literally split, because on one hand I'm like, oh yeah, he could survive because of blah, 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 blah. But on the other hand, because now we got the revelation that he's technically the father of Homelander. So I could see them playing on that for season 4. I can see them using him as the villain of season 4. So there's so many things they can do with him, keeping him alive. But unlike some other characters that we've done talked about, I am split 50-50 with him. So, and who's our last but not least?
You know who it is. It's Homelander, baby.
Homelander, baby.
So he's great. He's been giving me American Psycho vibes all season. He's done. That dude is so good. So good at his job.
Good.
He's brilliant.
So good.
So, but for me, I'll be honest with you, what I think they're setting up, which would be awesome, is I've got him at a 0.0001% of dying.
You don't think he's dying?
It's not because I don't. I think it's because of of how good he's done. I just don't think that I don't think that he's dying. Now, hear me out. Do I think he's going to be Homelander next season? No. I think that Jensen Ackles is going to take away his powers, and we're going to have to see Homelander fend for himself as a regular human and try to get back his powers.
I'm glad you brought that up.
That's what I think is going to happen. Mic drop.
So I'm pretty much of the same mind and same accord as you, because what better way? And one of the characters, I think might have been Maeve, even kind of talked about it. Is maybe it wasn't her, maybe it was just me and my wife talking about it. But what's worse? No, it was me and my wife were talking about this. What's worse for Homelander, death or becoming human? And they've laid it out. They've laid out that, oh, Soldier Boy, his father, can take away people's abilities. But what does that mean? Maybe because it's Homelander, maybe because it's blood, maybe he doesn't take away his powers. I mean, there's so much they can do. There's literally limitless things they can do. But I don't know. You gotta
yeah. Whenever he's laying it, but whenever you say they're laying it out, whenever he's sitting there talking to himself in the mirror, bro.
Yeah.
In the mirror, and he's like, "No, you know what's going on." Yeah. He's like, he was like, "Oh, that's still the human. Man. That's still the human in you." Bro,
they're laying it
out. Watch it happen.
I know. They're laying it out. Okay, just real quick, and I'll elaborate on it. God, it's hard for this one.
0.001.
So you're literally a goose egg.
0.0001, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna go a 0.1%, a 99.9% chance that he's gonna survive this season, because I'm going to mention, and this ultimately doesn't really mean anything, but here's something I want to bring up. Who's been in the face in the marketing? Homelander. Butcher. I just don't see him dying for multiple reasons. But I also, it's the boys. Anything can happen.
It happens.
Anything can happen, and I'm totally prepared for that. However, so far, now they could crap the bed this season finale, and we can be like, well, we can tune in this weekend and be like, well, that was a shit show. And that could very well happen. I don't think we are. But because the season's been so much better than season 1 and 2, I would say even combined. And I love season 1 and 2. This season is even better. But no, I mean, let's go on the assumption that the episode is good. We haven't seen it, so we can't say. But let's say the episode is good. The marketing of the boys has been Homelander or Anthony Starr's face on the posters, on the marketing material. When you search the boys, it's always him giving that kind of weird grin, right? And he does a mighty fine. He's, I would argue, the best actor in the show so far. I think he is. Well, I can't. Nope. Giancarlo's in the season. Okay, outside of Giancarlo Esposito being the best actor in this series, Anthony Starr has delivered the best performance of any character of this series, especially in this season. Anthony Starr has went, through hell and back with his acting, if that makes any sense. It's a fantastic actor doing a fabulous written character, whether you love him or hate him, you hate to love him, you love to hate him. Homelander himself, I think there's a lot there that they could do. But no, I'm gonna give a 0.1% chance that he's gonna die. I just don't see it, man. I just don't. I don't see it. And again, that because his face is in the marketing. I get it. That doesn't mean anything really, because you could just put Butcher's face on things or Huey's face on things, especially if they're going to be the forefront of season 4. They want to market it that way. That's fine. You can do that. I'm not saying you can't. I'm not a marketing specialist, so I can't say. But I can say that whenever you search for the boys, when every average film fan or average person looks for the boys, they're going to see Anthony Starr. And you can't do that if he's dead. So what's better than death for him? Making him a human. I think you're spot on that. I think they're going to I think that we're gonna have a. I know this is a weird comparison, but I think we're gonna have a Walking Dead Negan moment where Negan's the antagonist of a season, and then or 2 seasons, and then he's locked up in jail for a season. I think that his powers. You and me are pretty much on the same boat there. I think that we're going to take it a step further. He's not going to die, but he's going to get his powers taken in the finale, and he's going to sit and rot in a cell just like Maeve is right now. I think they're swaps. I think they'll swap roles, although I think Maeve's going to die. And I think that Homelander would be the one as an actual human. And dude, to see that, I think,
Or
or yeah,
or if they do that, and him
hmm
having to be a human, they face a different threat next season. Say Soldier Boy does die, they face a different threat next season, and they have to give him back his powers.
ooh, there's so much they can do, man. There's
Oh,
so
anyway,
much they can do.
so we
Ugh,
have made it. We've made it. We've
we've
made it.
made
So
it.
we've made our
We've made it.
predictions through this very short video we wanted to do. I apologize, but we really do love the boys, so that's why
So
we like
much
talking
fun.
about it so much.
And we just
So
wanted to try this a little prediction video. Don't mean to cut you off, but it goes to look. We're trying new things. We're not going to do this every time. We're going to do this every episode. And Wes and I have talked about this off camera. We don't want to. The Boys is one of those shows that it's really hard to give a prediction video. That's why we kind of focus more solely on who do you think's going to die, because you can't really do prediction videos for The Boys because The Boys is so unpredictable. Look, we have one episode and it's the finale. We have one episode and we have no idea where it's going to go. Have no earthly idea. Hey, we even had Paul Reiser back in this last episode. We even had him back and it was great. I
mad
thought
about you, man. I'm mad about Paul Reiser.
right
You know
about
what
Paul
I'm saying?
Reiser. I thought, and it's like, oh my god. But no, there's a lot of great things that I think can come out of here. I think it's going to be a great finale. Again, I'm not looking for the best episode of the series. I just want it to be good. I just want a good episode. I want those credits to roll and be like, that was a good season. That was a good darn season of television.
Yeah.
Far much better than Obi-Wan. But anyhow, that was fun. Wes, where can people find you, my friend?
People can find me at West Rathbone 86. So guys, please let us know what you think. We'd love to know your predictions and who you think's going to die and all that good stuff. So feel free to comment, like, share, do all that good fun stuff. And Gabe, tell them where they can find you, and let's wrap this thing up, my man.
All right. Like you said, just don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe, share, all that sorts of good stuff. Y'all know what to do. If you want to keep up with our shenanigans, you know where to find us. You can look for Wes on other social media platforms. You can find me simply at Voice of Film. You can find me on TikTok and Twitter. Just follow me with my entertainment news and just my personal thoughts on some things there. If you want to come say hello, hello. But it's been fun. Can't wait to talk this weekend and talk about where or how much we've been wrong on how every prediction has been wrong. Whatever we said 100% will be 0, and whatever 0, 100. Can't wait for that video. So stay tuned for that. We might be completely wrong, but again, we're just trying to just have fun with this. But and by the time people have probably seen this video, the episode would already be out and be like, oh, the episode's already out. But it's okay. I've had fun with this episode, Wes. It's been fun, man. Can't wait for the next video. Be sure to check us out. Stay tuned. Don't forget, again, to drop a like, comment, follow, subscribe, all that sorts of good stuff. And we'll see y'all in the next video.